Hi, welcome to Joy Fido International. Apologies for my throat because I happen to have a bit of a cold, but these videos have got to be done, so most times I don't really worry about how I feel. It's just to get a message across. Today we're going to be talking about something really exciting, and that's why you can see me all dressed up the way I am. My name is Joy Fido and welcome on board. So you may be really curious about how I'm dressed. Why is Joy dressed like this today? Okay, what I'm wearing is a traditional Nigerian outfit, and this outfit is most times used for weddings, for major birthday parties, for naming ceremonies, so many different things. I can't even begin to mention them, but it's a way of us really appreciating our tradition and looking absolutely glamorous and beautiful. And I just finished a video talking about all these things and how to accessorize them and all of that. So, but we had a major thing to talk about today, and excitingly it blends in with what the topic is. And what is the topic today? It's about how to discover and grow your passion. How do I discover and grow my passion? This is something that has been there. We do lots of videos and we keep talking about passion and passion. Do you have a passion for this? Make sure you have a passion for that. And then I started getting inquiries, people asking me, how do I really know what my passion is? And I just thought, yeah, if it weren't letting people know how to really look deep into themselves and find out what their passion is. Because some people do have, we all do have passions. All of us, every human being that has been created has a passion for something. But what happens is most of us do not understand what passion means. Most of us do not appreciate what our passion is. Most of us struggle to understand what our passion is. And that's why I decided it's important I bring this message to you to clarify it, to make it very clear so you're not getting confused about it. And that's what today's video is about. So how do you discover and grow your passion? Like I said, what I'm wearing really tied in with what we are talking about. And why am I wearing this? I have a huge passion for the African fashion. And when we say passion, I mean I absolutely love the African fashion. I feel alive when I'm dressed like this. I feel like I could go anywhere in the world looking like this. And if you've been watching some of my images on Facebook, if you happen to be my friend on Facebook, lots of events, everything I'm doing out there, I have to dress like this for me to stand out, for me to look amazing, for me to be seen. And this encouraged me to set up my African Queen Couture, which is where I'm encouraging people to start thinking bold. Bold is all the colors you can think about. Like now I'm wearing blue, and so we're looking at pink and yellow and green, and that's how we Africans dress. Another set of people that dress like this are the Indians as well. So we love to share the color. Maybe it goes with the sunshine we get all year round. I don't know, but that's who we are. So we're bold, we're colorful, and of course it stands out and it's beautiful. And it's something I resonated with growing up as a child. And somewhere along the line, came over here and then slowly started letting that go because most events you're going to, the weather is so cold, and so you cannot really dress all traditional, and because most of them are very see-through, like the lace fabric, you can see that. And so when the weather is not good, you're not going to be dressed like this. But this is who I am. And why am I showing you this? Is because it's a passion in me. And if it's a passion in me, how do I know it is there? I feel alive when I'm dressed like this. I hunger for it. I thirst for it. I want to look like this. And so I'm going to start explaining to you the kind of things that you could be experiencing for you to understand that you have a passion in something. So some of the questions I'll be asking you will be, do you have an opinion on any issue? So if something is happening around you, do you want to say something about it? Do you wish something was done differently? So you happen to be somewhere and something is happening in a certain way, you just say, I wish someone could do it like this. I wish someone could do it like that. Do you feel really strongly for something? So there's something going on and you go, oh my goodness, this is really what I think should have been done. Do you believe in something? Do you think, oh yeah, I deeply feel for this thing, I deeply believe in this thing, I deeply love this thing? Do you care about something? And so when we start talking about care, you want to protect that thing, you want to guide that thing, you want to showcase that thing. Do you like something done in a certain way instead of another way? Do you find yourself moved towards something? And so these are the kind of questions I want you to start thinking about now. And if you have the time, or if you really want to remember this, just go back on the video again and listen to these questions again. You could take a piece of paper and write them down. So when you write them down, you're beginning to think now. Do I feel about something? Do I feel moved towards something? Do I have an opinion about something? Do I really truly care about something? Because these are the things that are going to bring out that thing that happens to be your passion. So I want you to really think about this one. So these are some of the things you could be thinking about as you're thinking about this thing that's probably moving you towards something, or something you're caring so much about, or something you believe in so much about, or something you wish could have been done differently. Okay, so one of them could be poverty. You feel really bad seeing people less privileged. You look at yourself and you say, but I could afford so much. Why are these people why are they in a position where they can afford anything? What could I possibly do to help to change that scenario or that situation? You're thinking about healthy people. And so you're thinking, what can I possibly do to encourage people to be healthy? I know there's so much food around us, and there's so much to eat out there, especially in the Western world. But what could I do to make sure that people are eating healthy? Why is healthy such a big thing? Because then people could live longer, because then people could avoid the illnesses out there. So you're thinking again, you're going, oh, there's so much chemicals in the food around us. Or there's so much chemicals in the atmosphere. Or I can see so many children suffering. What could I do to stop this suffering going on? There are people out there who hate people so much. What can I do to stop that hatred going on? I love to see people looking beautiful. What can I do to encourage other people to look beautiful? I like to see healthy hair. Everybody's hair out there is looking so damaged. What can I possibly do to help bring back the health of people's hair? I like to see people's skin looking healthy. I like to see people's face looking beautiful. And so you're beginning to think of all the various things you could possibly be part of so you can change it. I see pictures and they look blurry. What can I do to make these pictures look really lifelike, beautiful, clear? What can I do to encourage people to be educated? There's so much illiterate people around. How can I contribute to them being educated? So these are the topics now, and you're beginning to think about it. And you're asking yourself, what role can I play in bringing all of this about? So this is where you start thinking. And as you're thinking, you're asking yourself, how can I make a change? And I'm going to begin to explain to you all the various things that I've found myself deeply involved with, that I know I've turned out to be my passion, and I've now encouraged myself to grow them to the next level. So as humans, I always talk about this. Our role here is to stand for something. I tend to say this in so many ways. We're like messengers from above, from nature, from God. And because we are in human form, we're spirits in human form, our Creator will not come down and say, okay, let me go and further my work. And so He sends us as humans to come and do those jobs. And this is why I believe we all have something in us, because you're not here just for the sake of it. You're here with a purpose. And I've talked about this book I read some time ago, Purpose Driven Life. And the purpose becomes this thing that burns in you, being this passion, this thing that you want to see happen. And I read so many books and so many amazing people, Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Gandhi. You know, these are people who came here and felt so strongly about something that they did not mind dying for that cause. So when you start believing that you have a purpose in something, how do you then move that to the next level? You then become the voice for that thing. And when we say voice, you are not the one who's ready to hold the light up for that thing. And that's when you start to understand that I am deeply involved in this thing. I deeply love this thing. I deeply care about this thing. So being a voice, being that light bearer or candle bearer for something that you truly, truly believe in. And I've given you some instances, some examples. So now I'm going to start explaining how I realized and discovered most of my passion. That today I can't be talking about passion to you. So remember the questions we asked. So if it bothers you, if it gives you sleepless nights, if it makes you worry and feel uncomfortable and feel unhappy, then there's something about that thing that wants you to do something about it. And what I then say is you become the solution to that thing. You become the person that finds an answer to it. And where do I come in here? For me, going into training people in hair, it started with me. So we've talked about this several times. I lost my job and I felt, how can I go about this? Reinstating myself, getting myself back on my 2 feet and having the life that I desired. And so I went on various training. But of course, for me, starting out, 2 major things were my passion. Fashion being what I'm beginning to go into now, and hair. And why was hair such a big love for me? 2 things in hair attracted me or gave me reason to think. I wanted to see healthy hair. I just did not enjoy seeing people with hair loss and receded hairline and hair breakage and hair looking untidy. It bothered me so much. And so my role was now, can I go and create glamour for this person with this hair? Could I help this person grow back their hair? Could I contribute to design an amazing look on this hair? And so with these things in my mind, I then became so intrigued with hair, and I was curious. And I decided to take on training in hair. And after I did the training in hair, by this time, I've gone through my various jobs, working with various companies and doing all the typical what you expect from life. finish university education, get a job. And so I done all that, and then I lost the job. So then the question then became, how do I get back on my 2 feet? And when I realized that, why don't you go back into what you love doing, which was from reading that book, Think and Grow Rich, and two of the major things he said was, you do have a passion. How about grow that passion into a business? Then I decided, I'll start with hair. I've always loved playing with hair. I've loved creating designs with hair. I've loved seeing people with healthy hair. I would love to be the one who's encouraging them to grow their hair. And so you see how I've become a voice for something I loved. I wanted to see people with beautiful, healthy hair, so why don't I become the one who's actually giving them the solution? So you see how passion has developed into something else. Hence, find out what your passion is and grow it. So when I was still talking about poverty, I realized how tough things were for me after I lost my job. I couldn't pay my bills. Bills were accumulating. I was forced to go and live in a really, really small flat apartment for the Americans and flat for us here in the UK. And then with a family of 6, we were stuck in a 2-bedroom flat. And there was no room. But of course, this is my experience here in the UK. Way back, coming back to Africa where I started from. I grew up in a family of 16 siblings, 2 wives, a stepmother. And so I knew what poverty was all about. And I worked all my life to try and pull myself out of that trap. And so I felt if people are stuck with unemployment, how could they possibly pull themselves out of the scenario they're in? And that's when I thought, how about I share my skill with people? If I share my skill with you, then with a skill in your hands, you can create your own job. And you hear me say this from time to time, teach a man to fish and he feeds for life. Where some people will say, give a man fish and he eats for that one day. I don't believe in that. I believe in giving you something that's part of you. Something that you can use to turn your life around. And so, when I looked at poverty, I looked at unemployment, these are the things I really hate. These are the things I want to stand against. These are the things I have a voice that could speak for it or speak against it. Hence, I decided the only way I can help this situation is to give people a skill. And that's where my braiding skill came in. Braiding and weaving and extensions. And so I started offering training and got all the certification, and I started sharing my skill on YouTube and on the internet, and started writing blogs and talking about hair. And that's how everything changed for me. So I found my passion. I stood for it. I became a voice for it. And then I shared it. So this is the kind of thing you could be doing to change your life around. So we're talking about sharing what you believe in and things that are driving you and things that you truly care about. So following the training, we created this pack, which is a 30 DVD pack. This particular one is sealed, and so I really can't open it. Contains 30 DVDs. And why did we come out with this? Because again, in order to support as many people as possible out there in the world, because we know we have so many people who believe in what we are doing, who know that we're contributing, and then the question has always been, how can I get this knowledge or this training? I live so far away, I have family, I have children, I have a husband, I have a job. And so we put this together in a pack for you to be able to get this training sitting in your home and making the change that you want in your life. So as always, we encourage you, this is a home certification pack. Use it to make that change in your life. But of course, remember we're talking about passion. So if hair happened to be your passion, and you love to play with hair, you love to work with hair, and the only thing that was stopping you was traveling down to where you get proper training, where you're showed the things you want to know about. Because we've had people saying to us, I paid so much money, I went to this place and all they taught me was this, and I wanted to learn more, I wanted to know more. We have put all that knowledge in this home pack. And all you have to do is sit in your home and gain all the skill you want and make that change in your life. May I remember where it started from a passion in me and a willingness and happiness to share, such that people are not sitting there and they could do so much with their two hands, but they're unable to because it's so expensive to travel, they can't leave their family, and all kinds of reasons which we know about. But first, carrying on with my passion and the way I moved it forward is the next thing being beautiful people or glamour. Again, remember, I focused on designing amazing hairstyles on people's heads. I did it so much, I was involved in backstage, looking after models, working with celebrities, and all of these things I've done because I am truly passionate about healthy hair, beautiful hair. So for me, it's not about just having healthy hair and you don't look good with your hair. Because that's what lots of people think. They think, oh, if I'm thinking of natural hair, it shouldn't be beautiful. It should be just plain natural hair. And I didn't want that. I wanted you to have natural hair, but of course, beautiful natural hair. Glamorize your natural hair. And so I did that, and I continue to do that with my clients. And so people travel the world to come get their hair done with me because they know I'm passionate about seeing their hair being healthy and giving them glamour at the same time. While we're still talking about beautiful image, then the glamour that comes with fashion. And this is a passion that I'm now taking to the next level. Years back, when I was still in Nigeria, I did have a fashion house. And again, all I did was helping people look amazing with beautiful outfits. But of course, moving on, I left that behind and focused on the hair. But now I'm back again to create those glamorous outfits that people could wear and look amazing in it. That's my passion. I want to see people look amazing. And I showcase that all the time. So if you're looking amazing, what do you think happens? You feel good about yourself. If you feel good about yourself, what do you think happens? Then you're ready to do amazing things. You're happy inside. And that's what a passion could help you to do. If you have passion for it, you push it to the next level. You be a voice for that thing. You're not just sitting down there and wishing. Because I've heard so many people say, I wish I could find where I could buy African fabrics or African outfits, or I could get traditional African clothes. People wish it. I don't wish it. I make it happen. And that's me now turning into the voice for that thing. So that's what I'm thinking you should be thinking about. How can I turn that passion deep in me into something that helps me to grow as well? That's where Think and Grow Rich comes in. You're thinking, you're growing it, you're becoming something good out of your passion. So personal growth is the next passion I have. And why am I so excited about that? This is where I now sit with you and I chat with you with all these topics. Why? Because years ago when I started in business, I did a training in NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And one of the biggest things they taught me was how to look inwards, how to allow my thoughts flow easily with my actions. And neuro was using your brain and your language to match with it. So if I'm thinking thoughts and I'm allowing my language to work with myself, what then happens? This is where lots of people completely get lost. So you go out there, you have a huge passion, you want to turn it into a business, and somehow, somewhere, which is real life, something goes wrong. Something is not happening the way you wanted it. Now, do you know what happens with lots of us? We give up. And this is why I always advise people, giving up is when you fail. Failure is not because it didn't work out the way you wanted it. Yes, that's natural. Things will not always happen exactly how you want it. And so your role is to slowly work with it and turn it around. Even with the hair business that we talked about, your first time of working with a client will not be exactly how you want it. And then you keep working on it. You don't give up. You say, okay, maybe next time I work with another client, I will pick up on those things that I wasn't happy with the other client. And so it's gradual. And with time, you become the best because you did not give up. It's not our first time that should be perfect. And I say that to everyone who comes to train with me. I'm not expecting perfection first time. I'm expecting consistency. I want you to keep at it. I want you to grow slowly. And so that's what it is. So when you're thinking of going into business, you found your passion, you're ready to go with it. How do you encourage yourself to handle those days that are not perfect? Those days that you wish you didn't do this? And that's where motivation comes in. That's where personal development comes in. Because you need to be strong mentally. Life is not the easiest of things. We all go through it. But you have to learn to be strong. Lots of us think, like they always say, the grass is greener on the other side. And something I read once made me laugh. He said, maybe it's actually AstroTurf. This is this grass that is just, you buy it like that, you just lay it down. And so what happens is constantly green. It's artificial grass. Or maybe these people are always watering their plants. Meaning there is no human being who does not go through difficult experiences. There is no human being whose life is completely straightforward, without complaints, without challenges, without distractions. And so your role is not about yours is the worst and the other people are having such a ball, such a great time. No. The people who succeed in life are people who are strong enough to overcome their challenges. And that's what makes them succeed. And so I love this part of life. I love being able to help people become strong. Because I know it's not enough to take so much money and say, let me open a shop and start selling. Oh yeah, I want to have clients walk in and walk out and I'm going to make so much money and wow, it's amazing. It will not be right now, it will not be tomorrow, but it's just the nature of life. We all have to deal with challenges. And so you're going to experience it. And when they do come, and you've been listening to these videos and listening to my advices, you're going to remember Joy did say a day like this will come. And so this is that day. You know what? I'm going to be strong and I will deal with it. There's a saying that when the going gets tough, only the tough get going. So it is my passion. And that's why I keep coming here and chatting with you all the time. And what have I done? I've become a voice for motivation speaking, for personal development. I've put my passion into action. And what's my other passion that's become one of my voices? Africa. Now, Africa is where I'm from, and I love my roots. There are lots of people out there I know who are Africans and struggle to deal with their roots. They will find any excuse why they shouldn't have to deal with where they come from. That's not the case with me. I visit my country as often as I can. I love my food, my African foods. I love my African fashion. I love my African culture. And so these are the things I am a huge voice for right now. When I came back from Nigeria, I've done videos on my experience, and I'm going to be doing more videos. I want to encourage as many Africans as possible to start loving their roots. Because there's a saying that home is where the heart is. You cannot be at home anywhere else but your home. And so if you would rather delete that part of your history and pretend that it never existed, you're just deceiving yourself. And what bothers me, again in particular, is when we start having children in various parts of the world. What kind of roots do we want to give our children? I mean, I always refer to that history in the Bible where the Israelites went to Egypt, and then eventually, how many years later, they had to find their way back home. And look at all the stress that's still going on now. So if you carry on thinking that, I'm in the Western world and I have electricity and I have good roads and I have water constantly flowing, and so if I go to Africa, I'm not guaranteed these things, and so I don't want to go home. Home is where the heart is. And home is that place that you have to go and grow. And I want us, especially those of us in diaspora, to start thinking how we can contribute to making that beautiful place that God created for us a heaven. Because we got everything there. I was listening to a video the other day, and it was shocking, the amount of, I don't even know how to go about it. The way the leadership have really messed up the continent. It's not down to nature. Nature provided so much for that continent. But what's changed it? Humans hiding under leaders, presidents and heads of state, or whatever you want to call them, politicians, and all their they just go there and look for every opportunity to steal from the citizens. And so those things bother me a lot. I feel so strongly about them. Remember we said, do you feel strongly about something? I feel strongly about looking at a continent that had so much, and now these children there are struggling to make ends meet. Their parents can't pay school fees, so they can't go to school. There's never electricity, and so people feel bad. People want to run their businesses, they don't know how to go about it because most businesses are tied to electricity. Like I'm sitting out here giving you a video like this, because there's electricity. So if I happen to be in Nigeria and I wanted to do a video like this, how do I start from? And so these are the questions that are out there, and these are the things I feel so strongly about, and these are the things I want to shine the light on. And I want us who are from Africa to start thinking, how can we go and make things better so that our generations unborn will not be stuck in a foreign country where they will not be able to lay claim to their ancestors. So that's how passion can move you. And I want you to start thinking, what are these things you are passionate about that you can move to the next level, that you can grow to become your business? So my other passion, again, we talked about healthy hair, and I've taken healthy hair to the next level in the sense of I became so curious about the products that we apply on people's head, the products that we're using on clients' head. And so I realized that things like the shampoos were containing sulfates, which are drying, and when you shampoo your hair, especially with the afro hair, what it does, it becomes so dry and it starts to break. And so I started questioning that. I started realizing that conditioners were containing silicone, and what does it do? That this silicone is affecting our hair and is not allowing it to take on the natural oils when you try to get healthy with your creams. So I took it upon myself to go and educate myself more on this. And I went on a training on how to become a natural cosmetics. And so I now create products for natural hair. That's my passion. The passion started from, I want to see healthy hair. What is causing this hair breakage? What is causing the damage? And that's how I moved my passion into a business. I've grown it from just wondering why are people creating horrible creams for us to use. I didn't leave it there. I went the next level and took on a training to change that. I'm also right now training to become a nutritionist. And why? Because I'm curious, I'm conscious of the fact that people are dying from sicknesses that sometimes are so unnecessary. People are dying from ignorance. My brother died, my dad died young, my mom, I was a child when my mom died, and my sister died. And so I have so many people that I have lost, that I'm looking back and I'm saying, I wish I knew some of the things I now know. I probably could have prevented some of those deaths. So how can I turn this around? And decided to take on the nutrition course. So now I'm beginning to understand the kind of foods we eat, what they're causing to our body. I mean, lots of people are so into, I want to lose weight. Oh yeah, lose weight comes when you eat healthy. But it's not just about losing weight, it's about putting the right nutrients into your body. And so if you have the right nutrients into your body, then there's no likelihood of you picking up unnecessary illnesses. Because most of the illnesses now are caused by the food we eat. High blood pressure, what's the other one? Cancer, diabetes, stroke. So all of these things could be prevented if we knew how to eat right. I'm not saying I'm God and I'm saying, oh, once I know what I know, everybody's going to be alive. No, we all have a time to go. But in the meantime, could we help ourselves to just naturally die of old age than just die of things that we are not aware of? And so these are the things that have helped me to push myself to go into asking more questions. And what pushed me there? It was a passion. And what was the passion? To see people healthy. So this is how you can start asking yourself, what do you want to see? What do you want more of in life? How do you want to see people? I mean, the other day, I was chatting with one of my sister, and her husband was also having major issues medically. And all I said was, change the water you drink. How about try alkaline water? And when she did that, she called me full of thank yous and praises. Do you know that water changed so much? How he was feeling from just water. So do you know how you could be that hand that helped to change something in somebody's life? So again, I'm not feeling too well, but I hope I've got the message across for you to start looking into your hands, look into your heart. See what you can help people with. See what you can be a voice for. See the kind of causes that you could really head and shine a light towards. Or you could spearhead and lead and guide people on and support people and be the person that people come to for advice. That's how passion moves us. That's how passion moves the world. And so I want you to start today, to start looking into your life and discover that passion that you have. Something you truly care about. Something that bothers you. Something that makes you think. Something that keeps you awake at night. Once you find that out, do what you need to do. Go and train yourself. Be the best in that thing. Because everything I've decided to take on, I've put into action. I've made efforts to be as good as possible. To be the best I can be in that field. I mean, for instance, the health issue. I've had so many people come to me because they see that I make an effort. And especially with hair. It started with hair as well. People are losing their hair, and I'm guiding them on how to eat and the kind of things to introduce to their diet so that it will change the way things are happening in their body. And then people say, when are you going to start your program so I can really go on your program and lose all the weight I'm having? And I'm saying to them, just hold on. Why? Because I want to finish my course. I don't want to go out there and throw out things that I can't clearly say this is how I'm expecting it to be. So once you be the best at what you do, your result will be amazing. I did that with hair, and I want to do that with everything else that I'm doing. So discover your passion, grow it, and change your life. I want you to follow us on social media, because again, all these things that I'm passionate about, I have pages for them on Facebook. I'm on Instagram constantly posting these things. So Joy Fido on Instagram, World of Braiding for hair and training, African Queen for the fashion. And then on Facebook I have so many pages. I have Joy Fido International, which deals with all the personal development. And then we have the African Couture Fashion, looking at all the fashion there on Facebook. And so I hope to see you in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to email us if you have any issues that you want us to support you with. info@worldofbraiding.com or joy@worldofbraiding.com. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you again for watching.